Hey guys, welcome back to the Twisted Stitcher. My name is Alicia and this is my channel all about cross stitch. So today we're going to do a stitch with me. This is Flosstube number 5 and it is July 2nd, 2025. So this one is called Apple Harvest. It is by Carolyn Manning Designs. So if you go to her website looking for this one, you're going to want to look under the quilt block collection. She has apples. She also has this one in pumpkins. It pretty much looks the same. Obviously the colors and the fruit has changed. But other than that, this is the one we're going to do a stitch with me today. So let's get ready to rumble. Let's see. And I want to give a huge thank you to all of my subscribers for continuing to hang out with me. I appreciate your support of my channel. And if you're new around here, welcome in. Hopefully you'll want to stick around and become a subscriber too. You know, because this is where us cool cats hang out. How is everyone doing? Hopefully we're surviving the heat. Staying hydrated, staying cool. So once upon a time, I don't know if you guys know this, but once upon a time, South Carolina was actually part of the U.S. And apparently they broke away and moved next door to the equator. Haha. It is hot. It is nasty. And for those that say, you know, it's always cooler by the coast, I don't think so. I mean, it's still hot. It's still nasty here. The humidity is horrible. All of the above, you know, it's hot, it's humid. People's attitudes stink when they get hot, and it's, you know, they're just erratic. So, I saw a meme on Facebook that said 2 things you need to remember in this heat. To stay hydrated is the first one. And to watch how you talk to people is the second one. I was like, isn't that the truth? Because there's a lot of people that just don't tolerate the heat very well. Me being one of them. I'm just glad I don't have like asthma or something like that, because it's hard. My mom has asthma real bad, and it can be hard for her to handle when she's, you know, going out to the store or stuff like that. Start, skip. Is it this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, I am where I'm supposed to be. This material, guys, this is, oh, excuse me, let me explain. So this is 18 count Aida. I'm doing 1/1 full cross. Believe it or not, 1/1 on this material is actually covering really well. I am a DMC junkie, so my floss is DMC. In this particular project, I don't believe there is any black. You know what? There might be. No, there's not any black in this project. Not any black in this one. I just pin stitched for my start. And let me show you where I am on here, if you guys can see. So I've done this apple. I am working on this apple. This apple is of 2 different colors. It's skipping. So as I go, you'll see that it's like you stitch, you skip one, you stitch, you skip one. So we are doing... Oh my goodness, and I'm starting with the wrong color. Would you believe that? It's not supposed to be green. There's a little apple that's up here that's green. I think that's the reason I saw that. And to show you just how well it works, the pin stitch works real well. Look. Can you see that? It works. So if you're not sure about the pin stitch, it definitely holds your material. This is the wrong color, guys. Wrong color. So let me take a look and see. This is 986. It's like an avocado. Let me check what Pattern Keeper says. I'm about to screw myself up, isn't that something? Yeah. Okay. So actually it's these, like the greenery off this flower, off the top of the apple. Right here. It's this part right here. So I guess we will start with that. Instead, I was going to start on that apple, but I got the wrong color altogether. I don't know how I managed to do that. Oh well. All right, let's try this again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm creating a tail so I can start my stitch. And then I'm going to pin stitch. And then I'm going to stitch right over top of it. And cover it. This project is not a full coverage. There's these spaces between here. This, yeah, so there's spaces down through here, down through here. This is not a full coverage. So you want to make sure when you're working on projects like this, most of you guys are going to know this. If you are new to cross stitch, you're not going to want to carry your stitches. You're going to want to bury your stitches, or stop and start each time. So when you hold your project up, you don't see your lines through the back of the material. Like if you're working these colors and you're going through here, all of this is covered. But when you have spaces between, you don't want to finish here and then jump too far, because that red is going to string across the back of your material, and when you pick your project up, you're going to see those lines running across the back of your material. With this being oatmeal, it may be more favorable to hide. You're not going to see it as if you were working on white Aida, stretching black across the back of your fabric. Been there, done that. Realized I made a major mistake, and went back to fix it, because I did not like the way that looked. So I went back to fix it. Let me get my scissors here and cut this little tail off. Can you guys even see what I'm doing? No. And then, let me see if I can center you guys up a little bit here, so you can see what I'm doing. How is that? Much better. I'll check on it again. draw you in just a little more. I'm just kind of stitching today, guys. I don't have a whole lot to really talk about. So I'll talk about this. My daughter is in marching band in the high school, and she is going into her sophomore year. So it's like the last 2 weeks of July. No, sorry. Let's try that again. The last week of July running into August. So there's like the last 2 weeks before school starts is what I meant, not the last 2 weeks of July. It's 2 weeks before school starts. She goes into what they call band camp. It's kind of like a jump start to the band, the band season. But it also, so you've got, say for instance, children that are moving into this particular district. So they're having to change schools, and they're in band. So this is like, hey, come hang out with us for for these 2 weeks. If you plan on being in band, that we'll give you, a tour of how, where the school, how the school is laid out, and where everything is, and how to navigate the school before everybody and their brother is in it. And, because you can walk that school and be okay. And then when you have, 1,200 other students in there, it's like, you can get turned around real quick. I know I did. I went to that school, and it wasn't near as big then as it is now. They've done a lot of construction and made the school bigger since I have been out of that school. But anyway, you get all those kids in there and it'll turn you around real fast. So in this, it brings in like all the kids that are coming into the school district, changing schools. Maybe they just moved to the state or moved to this county kind of thing. So it's like, hey, you're in marching band. We do this every, for the last 2 weeks of summer, right before school starts again. It is mandatory that you go. So if you're in band, you have to be there. It's kind of like everybody meets everybody. Everybody gets familiar with what's going on. They actually do start practicing music. So it's not like we're just standing around, playing games and, 2-week band camp. It's actually, there is work involved. This is the jump start of the season. They figure out what the theme of this school year is, things like that. So it's very busy. So my daughter is, she's in percussion, and she is on drum line. So she's excited about, she's been a percussionist since her 6th grade year. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9. This will be her 5th year in percussion. But to make drum line, you have to try out for such. You just don't go running up in there and say, hey, that's what I want. And then they go, there you go, you're it. You have to try out for it. So she has already tried out, and she was told that she was going to be, how did I do that? How did I miss? Oh, okay. I see what I did. I was supposed to drop down one. Anyway, she tried out and she did very well, and she got on drumline this year. So she's excited about that. I'm excited. She does very well. You know, all the kids do very well. They ranked 7th in state competitions last year out of the entire state. So that's a 7th is, of course, well, that's not first. No, it's not. But 7th out of the entire state. It's not bad. It's not bad. So, you know, and then too, it just shows them you don't win everything. You don't win them all. But these kids bust their tail and they get out there and they blood, sweat, and tears, you know, out in the field, in the heat, no covering. They put a lot of time and energy into what they're doing. So, making 7th, I mean, that's good. You know, they're kids. They're kids. It's supposed to be something that they can enjoy, and these kids do. They put forth the effort. Some of these places have bigger schools, or they've got their instructors might be more intense. They, you know, then too, it just might be better ideas than, you know, other schools that make them so good. But you can't win them all. And last year, one of the high schools participating, it's like it's no big deal for them. They come, they win first place every single year. Last year, they didn't. Another underdog school came out of nowhere and put a hurting on them. So, why does that? Oh my goodness, what have I done? What have I done? Oh my god, I'm on a roll today, guys. On a roll. I did say that today just didn't feel like it was like I was on my game. So there's supposed to be an extra row right here, but I was wondering why I wasn't lining up with where I was supposed to be. And it's because I missed a row right here. I was supposed to go right through here and then drop down. So I'm off by a row. So I guess green is appropriate for the frog, huh? Whatever. He can come hang out too if he feels welcome. But he won't stay long if he thinks he's going to booger up everything I do today. He's not going to stay. That's okay, though. At least I wasn't like 1,100 stitches in. Oh, Lord. Hopefully I wouldn't have been 1,100 stitches in before I realized that there was a mistake made. But I've done that too. Big project with no grid, and I put in about 500 stitches, and then realized that I started on the wrong. It was the wrong layout. Like, I was supposed to have the material in portrait phase, and I had it in the landscape. So I had to take all of them out. There was no way to fudge. There was no way to fudge that. My project would have been short. So I had to take all of like 500 stitches out, or just shy of 500 stitches. And I had to redo them after I turned the material the right landscape, or the right, is that what it's called? Portrait's up right and landscape is turned sideways, and I had it the wrong way, so I I had to turn it. So I had to pull all those stitches out. So I was doing great. So no different than today. A frog is a frog. It just depends on how many you have to pull out, but oh, that is the story of a cross stitcher. The frog is always hanging around. That's okay though. Anyway, so she is my daughter. She's enjoying her last little month of summer vacay before she starts band camp. What is this nonsense? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Oh my gosh. Okay, so oh my gosh. Okay. Y'all don't look. Y'all don't look. I'm in the middle of a half of a stitch and I'm just not even oh, you saw me mess up. It just shows that I'm human. Okay, so moving right along. Oh my God. Y'all didn't see nothing. If y'all tell, I'll come for you. It's all good. Look, you can't even tell I did that jump. It doesn't even look like I'm wrong. So there's supposed to be a space, and there's a space, and then there's a space, and there's 2 stacks. 1 and 2. So there's 2 stacked right there. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 on a step. So you've got 2, and then you've got this right here, and then you've got that 1, and I finished. So I am where I'm supposed to be. So there. Where I'm not, I have to come over here. So I will. I'm left-handed, so it's hard to. Am I even moving that needle? I am. Slowly. There you go. I buried my stitch on the back. Run my needle behind these stitches here to keep from having random lines running across the material on the back, and you'll end up seeing it. So I just did that. And now I can keep going. I just cannot believe I just did that. I frogged and I frogged again. How about that? It's alright. It just shows I'm human. It happens. It's like, I just frogged all those things. I'm not going to frog them again. And this material, it's like I cannot get it tight. This Aida is so stiff. I found this. This is, was it Loops and Threads or something like that? I found this at Michael's. I've never used it before. I had a Joann's like 3 miles down the road from my house. The nearest Michael's is about 30 minutes away. When Joann's closed, I was like, what do we have? So my husband and my daughter, we all piled up in the truck and we took off into Charleston. And I'm not in Charleston, I'm on the outskirts of Charleston, so Charleston's about 30 minutes away. So it was just one random day we got in a truck and took off. We went to Michael's and I was like, dang, they have more than what Joann's had as far as. So the Joann's that was up here next to our house, you had, what is it, like the 36 by 30 or 30 by 36, 14 count. And then you had, I think it was 18 count white Aida. And that's, you know, you might be able to get it in, it's like white and ivory. But then you had like the smaller, the 15 by 18 pieces that are in that plastic, that square plastic tube. It might be colored, but you could get 14 count in like, you know, the colors, or like fiddler's cloth, or you know, some different colors, but it was mainly like 15 by 18 pieces. And it was just very limited in our particular store for, like, if you wanted, say, 22 count, you're not going to find it. You're not going to find it at our Joann's. But they carried 28 count, like 15 by 18, 28 count. In an ivory looking color. That was about the extent of it. But if you needed a different color or something like that, you had to order it online. And then I hardly ever go to Michael's. So when Joann's closed, I mean, it was, well, actually, no, it wasn't. Joann's hadn't closed yet. But, you know, I had gone into Joann's a couple times because they kept putting up those signs saying, you know, we get new trucks every day. And I'm not looking for anything else besides floss and, you know, Aida or even weave, you know, stuff like that. It's very specific when I go into that store. So we went in there and it was like, I went in there a couple times and it was just completely wiped out. Like, you're saying there's new trucks coming every day, but I don't see, I mean, there are times that my daughter and I had gone because we were like, let's see what's in there. And the place was more and more and more empty. And it was like, so if you're getting truckloads of stuff, I don't know where, I don't see it in here. So it was like when all of the floss was gone, all the Aida of all of it, like even monk's cloth, anything that is on that particular aisle, cross stitch related, all that stuff was gone. There was a couple of hoops. There was like a handful of hoops of different sizes, but that entire aisle was completely empty, all except for, you know, a handful of different size hoops hanging on the wall. But everything else was wiped out. So I was like, yeah, well, I don't need to come back into Joann's because I'm not going to use anything else that's in here. So we didn't go back. So we had gone to Michael's anyway. Now that's a long-winded story. But while we were in Michael's, I found 22 count I found this 18 count oatmeal Ada, and I was like, really? And it was like, you know, the 30 by 36 or whatever it is. I was like, dang. And I asked somebody, one of the people that were back there, and I was like, do y'all carry this all the time? She was like, oh yeah, we carry it all the time. I was like, good grief. I just wish Joann's would have brought in more stuff than what they had. I mean, it was real simple for cross stitch stuff. Like once upon a time, you could go in there and get patterns and things, but then it was like, you're not getting them anymore. And then everything is transferred. That's another thing. Why did everything go online? Like, you can't get it in the store anymore. I remember, I mentioned this before in like my first or second video. Michael's. You could go into Michael's or AC Moore. That was another one we had here years ago. That one closed probably 10 years ago, maybe. Something like that. AC Moore. Maybe that long ago. Close enough. But you could go in, you could go down the, you know, the cross stitch aisle, and both sides of the aisle, I mean, they were long aisles, and both sides of the aisle would have just cross stitch kits, like dimensions, the big dimensions cross stitch kits everywhere. And they just had stuff for cross stitch. It was just everywhere. And then it was like, one day you go in there, hadn't been in there, say like a year. I go back and there was nothing. They're like, what happened? What happened to, what, like, where's everything? Did you move it in the store? And they're like, no, we just don't have it anymore. What do you mean you don't have it anymore? What did you do with it? You know, it's like they sold what they had and that was it. Now you see, you know, 2 or 3, when you go in, you see 2 or 3, you know, the little packages of some kind of random little llama or something like that, you know, and it's like, that's not my interest and I'm not stitching that. Even if it may be cute, it's like, I'm not going to stitch that. So like, what happened to the big stuff? That's what I'm here for. I'm looking for the big stuff. Now it's like, you can buy patterns online. All you have to have is like the floss and the material. So I want to, so 20, I've got a couple projects that are on 28. And even though that is very small, not everything is worthy of tent stitch. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that should be done in full cross in my view. But they don't have it. They don't have like the bigger rolls of stuff. And what I'd like to buy is a bolt. But unless you have like a business license, you can't get a bolt of fabric. I like 20 count. I like 22 count. 18 count is okay. I think I like 20 and 22 count better. But I don't know. I'm just kind of in between fabrics right now, but I want to get 22 count. What am I doing way up there? I'm trying to tie off so I can start again, and I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'm going to have to go under. But you know, they're like, well, if you don't have I've checked into Etsy and asked a lady that I normally buy my fabric from. I was like, hey, can I buy and she was like, I don't sell it like that. So I can jump. I pin stitched to get closer to my area where I need to jump. I pin stitched right here, so I can jump here without having lines strung across the back of my fabric. The only bad thing is I don't know that I'm going to have enough to I'm going to try. I'm just going to do it where I end up because I don't have a whole lot of floss here. Anyway, so but I was told that they won't order it unless you have a business license. I don't have a business license. I just want it. You have a business license, so therefore I think you should be able to order it. I'll pay you for it. Just tell me how much I owe you and I'll pay it, and then you order it and send it to me. Therefore, I'll have a whole lot of fabric. So if I want to, if I see, if I'm inspired that day, I can just start whatever I want to start because I got plenty of material. But I don't know. She's like, I can't do that. I don't know why you can if you're getting paid for it. And then too, it's like, I don't understand why you can't, because if I'm paying you for it, but yet you say, oh, I can't do that, you've lost a sale. I don't want to order, a bunch of different pieces from you. Like, I want a big piece and I can cut it myself. I mean, she could have made a good, that would have been a good sale. But she didn't want to do that. So I don't know. And I've contacted a couple other places and they're like, yeah, we don't sell pieces that big. And it's like, but right there it says if you need a piece, contact us for custom size piece. Like, I wasn't asking for a bolt on that particular one. It's like they sell, an 18 by 20 piece. And it's like, okay, well, so some of the projects that I have is like, 20, was it a 25 by 28? One of the projects I was looking into was like a 25 by 28, and they're selling an 8 by 20. And I'm like, ugh. So when I made contact with them, I was like, hey, I need a piece that's like this, because their website says we do custom sizing, contact us and let us know what size you need. So then when I contact them, they're like, oh, we don't do that. What do you mean? Your shop says you do. So I was like, are you just out of this fabric right at the moment? That's the reason you can't fulfill the order? Oh no, we don't do that at all. Then you need to take it off of your website, because your website says that you do. And it says if you need custom pieces or whatever. So that's why I'm asking you. Like, I don't know, whatever. But anyway, I want a bolt of 22. I want a bolt of 22. And I keep getting the same humdrum answer. We don't do that. So it's like, okay. I'm going to run out of floss. You watch. You see this little bit? I'm going to run out of floss. It'll be one of those where you run out of floss where you only have to do like one leg of a stitch. Get them all done except for that one leg and can't tie off. So you have to pull a new strand. See? Yeah, well, I'm just going to go ahead and tie off because I'm not going to... You know what? I'm going to try it. Let me see how far I get, just so I can say, see, I told you so. So I have 5 stitches here I have to make. Oh, I might make it. I might. Ooh, it'd be great if I did. Am I gonna make it? Am I gonna make it? Ooh. You have such little faith, which was me just a minute ago. Look, right there. Oh my goodness. Okay. Me of such little faith, because I sure did not expect. I'm going to go right up underneath these stitches and pin stitch underneath. Look at that. Yay! Just as I got the needle pull and I pulled, the material slipped, or the floss slipped out of the eye, and that's why it bunched. I had to pull it through with my with my fingers. My goodness. I'll get back there and snip that off. La la. All right. I've got this one piece of green right here. I don't have anything really to talk about today, guys. Like, I think I'm just filling space. I'm just talking to fill space. I don't want to sound like a rattle trap. Oh yeah? Did you hear something? Yeah, you didn't hear nothing. I didn't hear it. That means you didn't hear it. That's right. Just lay down. So I have 2 wiener dogs, for those that don't know. She is almost a year and a half older than he is. She is a little bit bigger than he is. She's taller than he is. They are not from the same litter. No relation at all. One of them came from Missouri. My little boy came from Missouri, I believe. And the little girl came from Ohio. They were shipped in because there are no breeders here for wiener dogs. So the wiener jokes around here are off the chain. And you know, the one that's we tend to use the most is, you know, in the summertime is like you know, wiener related. you know, you better get in this house. You're going to cook your wiener. Well, they are a wiener. So, it's such inappropriate, right? Sorry. It is funny though. I saw a thing on Facebook the other day that said they were talking. It was a little video, and it said this breed here. A whole time it's a video, like a short skit of a video or a short piece of a video of wiener dogs, and it said this here we are known as German lowriders. I was like, that is so hilarious. That is so funny. German lowriders. So of course you go to the comments and you read the comments, and this one girl says, "I will now forever call mine German lowriders." I was like, me too. That is so funny. But my girl, she's the one that's always listening for stuff. I mean, you can definitely tell she has that girl instinct. Uh-oh. I had the camera. She has that girl instinct. She's gonna bark. She drives me nuts. I can't stand a dog that barks. Oh my gosh. But she is that one. She's the one that's gonna bark. My boy, on the other hand, is, you know, typical male. He lays back and just lets her handle things. That's normally how it goes. Wife handles everything. Food, dinner, kids, cleaning the house, and the male sits on the, you know, and plays, you know, like Al Bundy. Sits there with his hand in his pants. Do you remember that show, Married with Children? That's about how the male species is. They just sit back and let you handle it all. Anyway, so she's definitely the watchman, and she'll bark. And of course, you know, when you're not expecting it, she's wanting to, you know, go berserk, barking at something, and it's like, God, man, you can give me heart failure. Because it's like right out of the blue, and just rah, 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 rah. It's like, good grief. Can you give me a warning on that? I need to be able to prepare. And my little guy, he's, like I said, he's about 1.5 years younger than she is. And he is lovey-dovey. She gets to barking and he goes to the other side of the yard, like to get away from her. Or he'll come to the back door, like, "Hey mom, she's at it again, let me in." Like, he doesn't want to get he doesn't want to get yelled at. So he's a lovey-dovey. She is too, but she acts like a cat. You know, a cat being temperamental. You know, they lay up and they just sunbathe. She does that. She does that too. When she wants to be talked to and petted, then she'll come. Other than that, don't bother her. She is such a cat. And I think she knows that she's a cat. She must think that she was a cat in another life or something. She's reliving those days. But he, on the other hand, they go through the house, you know, start singing or humming something, and he comes. And he'll when you stop, he stops. He'll sit on the little rug and he'll just listen. He'll stare at you and just listen to you as you sing or whatever. He is definitely a mama's boy for sure. And he likes to be sang to. You sing to the girl, she'll be biting your dang nose. Like, stop breathing on me, get out of my face. You know, she's doing all this stuff. She'll like nip at your nose. Like, stop breathing on me. So you have to you have to keep her away from your face when, you know, like if you're singing or, you know, what have you. Just keep her away from your face. She doesn't bite hard, and it's not like she's trying to remove your facial features or anything. She'll just catch you on the corner of your, or catch the edge of your nose, the tip of your nose, just to like get your attention, like, hey, stop breathing on me. But yeah, and apparently that little nibble bite kind of thing is typical for a doxy, which I did not know that, but apparently it is. I did not know. Because when she was doing that, she started doing that when she was about 9 months old, I think. And she had like a, you know, checkup or whatever. And I had asked the vet when I had her in there, I was like, look here, so what's the deal with this? And the vet said, that is a trait of a doxy. I was like, really? And they were like, yep. I was like, okay. So, and even like your, you know, your Facebook pages, like if you're were a member, or I'm a member of a doxy page on Facebook, like you have the lab pages and the Roddy pages, you have doxy pages, like your favorite dog breed or whatever. So I'm a member of them, and reading their comments and stuff, you know, you can make a post and they'll comment on it, and they say, every one of them say that is a doxy trait. So it's like, where I had never heard, you know, the vet said it was a trait of theirs. I was like, I ain't never heard no crap like that. So, and the doxy page was like, yep, that is a trait of theirs. I was like, oh, okay. So, I did not know that. Anyway, doxies, wiener dogs, they're great. They are so fun. Very energetic little guys. But if you don't keep them busy, they'll get bored. But they tire out very easily also. It's because of their small body. It's like they've got a lot of energy, but because they're so small, they burn up their energy so fast being a small dog. So they do like to sleep a lot, but they do like to stay busy. But if they are busy, expect them to have to take a nap. But they are. So, what was it, 2 years ago? We put the harnesses on the dogs and we took them trick-or-treating. You know, we took them out walking in the neighborhood while my daughter trick-or-treated. And we got about 2 blocks away from the house, and my little guy could not go any further. He laid down on the concrete, refused to walk, refused to move. So for the next for the next 2 blocks, my husband had to carry my little guy all the way back to the house. I mean, that dog was just laid out like, you would think that my husband would have had like a 6-week-old baby in his hands, in his arms. That dog laid there, and he just had his head like flopped over. Like, you would have thought he was dead. It was funny. But he refused to move, and that dog slept all night long. Poor little guy. He was like, Mom, I'm done. So his wiener was cooked that night. The wiener jokes are for real. Anyway, all right, guys, I'm gonna call it right here for today. I hope you enjoyed the wiener jokes and the wiener conversation. They are absolutely hilarious. I'll have to get them on video at some point. But anyway, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'm gonna bust up laughing. I can crack myself up with these jokes, these comments. Anyway, thank you for coming to hang out with me today. I want to say thank you for the support again of my channel. You guys have been great at welcoming me into the Flosstube community. Don't forget to like and comment, and if you have not subscribed, make sure you do. This is where we come to hang out and be full of ourselves, right? So anyway, it is a subscribing to YouTube, our channels, for us content creators like myself. It's a free way to support us, and we greatly appreciate it. Make sure that you say hello to someone you don't know. That one act of kindness may be what changes their whole world. It is the weekend coming of 4th of July. You guys stay safe, stay dry, stay hydrated, and we'll chat soon. Thanks, guys. See ya.